IMISI The Last Housemaid Part 1. Her name was IMISI, and before you even ask, no, she didn't choose the life she had, it chose her. From the day she opened her eyes in this world, the ground beneath her was already shaky, and the sky above her was already cracked. Her mother used to say, "You were born on a rainy day, and rain never stopped chasing you." Maybe she was right. Her mother had her when she was still young, still believing in love, still believing that men kept their promises. Her father, he was there for a little while, a few laughs, a few warm nights. Then one day, he packed his bag and boarded the plane to a country far away. He didn't even look back. No calls, no letters, nothing. Her mother was left with a baby and a heart full of questions no one will answer. She worked 2 jobs, cleaning other people's home in the morning, washing other people's children in the evening. Every night, she would return to their small leaking room. She did hold IMISI close and whispered, "We will survive somehow." And they did. Through hunger, through sickness, through the days when even salt was too expensive to buy. IMISI grew small for her age, but with eyes too big for a child. Eyes that saw things children shouldn't have to see. By the time she was 10, she was already helping her mother clean, carrying water, washing plates, folding clothes that didn't belong to them. They were a team, mother and daughter, and that was enough until sickness came. It started with a cough, small at first, then louder. Her mother still went to work, still came home late, still smiled through the pain. But one morning, she didn't get up. IMISI shook her. "Mommy, please." Her mother's eyes fluttered open, but her voice was weak. "Go to auntie. Tell her to help." That was the last full sentence her mother ever spoke. By the time the sun set, she was gone. Death has a smell. It's not just in the body, it's in the air. It clings to your clothes. It hides in your dreams. IMISI was 11, and suddenly she was alone. She went to live with her mother's sister. At first, her auntie house seemed like safety. A room that didn't leak, food that didn't spoil, clothes that were newer than anything she did ever want. But safety can be a mask. Her auntie's smile faded quickly. She had 2 daughters of her own, both older, both spoiled. They laughed at the way Mrs. spoke. They mocked her own worn-out shoes. Her, and her aunt, she never stopped reminding her that she was a burden. Every chore was hers, washing clothes until her finger hurt, scrubbing the floor until her nails ached, cooking but never eating first. If she made a mistake, her aunt's word cut deep. "Your mother was nothing, and you will be nothing." Those words burned more than any slap. At night, IMISI would hide in the corner of her small room and cry slightly into her pillow. She still went to school, sometimes when her aunt allowed it. By the time she reached her first year of primary school, she was already doing odd jobs after class, carrying load in the market, washing cars, anything to buy exercise book and a pen. She dreamed of going to secondary school, but dream cost money, money she didn't have. Years passed. Her aunt's daughter went to university. IMISI stayed home working like a maid but without pay. The older she got, the harsher they became. Until one day, she was 18. Her aunt told her about a job. A rich family was looking for a housemaid. The pay was good, very good. Her aunt's voice was too sweet when she said, "You will go and work there. At least then you can send me something every month." It wasn't a choice. The house was huge, marble floors, tall gates, the kind of house you only see in magazine. The master was a billionaire businessman. His wife was beautiful, dressed in gold and perfume. They had three children, two daughters and a son, and every single one of them was trouble. The daughters had the arrogance of people who had never been told no. The son, older, handsome in a dangerous way, reputation that whispered through the neighborhood. Every maid before IMISI had either run away or been thrown out. The daughters would slap and insult them for the smallest mistake. The son sometimes forced himself on them. But whenever the maid complained, the wife would laugh. "My children are not like that, you are lying." The master, he was never home, always traveling for business. And so the house was a kingdom ruled by spoiled children. Missy was the next to enter. Because they ignored her, then the bullying began. The daughters would throw clothes on the floor and order her to pick them up. They would pour juice just to watch her clean it. The son left the country soon after she started, but the daughters kept the cruelty alive. They insulted her skin, her accent, her cheap shoes. She thought about leaving, but the salary was too high. It was enough to send some money to her aunt and still save a little for herself, so she stayed. She learned to swallow her anger. She learned to keep her head down. She learned to accept blame for things she didn't do. But there was something strange. The master, whenever he was home, he would look at her with a puzzled expression, as if she reminded him of someone. Sometimes his eyes would linger too long, not in a bad way, but in a way that felt like searching. Months passed. Then one day, the master fell ill. The daughters didn't care. They were too busy clubbing, traveling, posting pictures on Instagram. The wife also went out almost every day, leaving the house empty, except for IMISI and the sick man. She was the one who brought him food, the one who helped him sit up when he couldn't move, the one who wiped the sweat from his forehead when fever took over. And slowly, he began to talk to her. "What's your name again?" IMISI said. "IMISI." "That's a special name." She smiled faintly. "My mother gave it to me. She said it means hope." The man's face changed. His voice went quiet. His illness worsened. The doctor said he needed a bone marrow transplant. No one in the family wanted to donate. Not the daughters, not the wife. They cared more about his will than his life. The tests were done. Only one match was found. IMISI. When she heard the news, she didn't think twice. She agreed. Not because he was rich, not because she wanted the reward, but because somewhere deep down, she couldn't let another person die when she knew what that loss felt like. The surgery was done. He survived. And then came the twist that would change everything. The DNA results from the compatibility test show it clearly. He wasn't just her employer. He was her father. He was the man who had left her mother years ago without looking back. The same man her mother had cried for a night. The same man she had grown up hating without even knowing his face. When he realized, he cried, really cried. Not the tears of a sick man, the tears of a man who had wasted years chasing the wrong things. He asked for her forgiveness, and for the first time in her life, IMISI didn't know if she could give it. Will IMISI forgive her father? Watch out for part 2.